Bortle here, back from the first ever Remote Duel YCS event by Konami. My goodness. We have here top 32 player. Please introduce yourself to the world, man.
My name is Jesse Flores.
So, what deck did you play at this event?
I played Shadal, Dogmatica Invoked.
Oh, wow, Shadows, that's pretty impressive. So, what made you decide to play this deck post banlist?
I was kind of messing around with a lot of different decks. First was like Drytron, and I went to like Agnister. Recently, people knew me for playing Code Talker, but I recently found out like the types of hand traps being played right now, like DD Crow, Bell, uh, like just a massive amount of hand traps like Veilers and Imperms and stuff. It was just kind of like impossible to play like a combo deck really, because like everyone was like massively prepared for you. So I just was going through a few decks, and I remember a little bit before I used to play Dogmatica Invoked in a format similar to this, and it really plays around hand traps pretty well, and Meltdown's absolutely crazy against Tri Brigade.
Alrighty, so what deck took you on top 32, man?
Well, it was Virtual World. Game two and three, he cited Dimensional Barrier going second. So
Oh, man.
Um, but it was a variety of that and unfortunate events with judge calls that I mean I don't want to go too much in detail, but it was no penalty on my side, but it should have been the other way. But you know, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, sometimes it does happen, and that's very unfortunate. But overall, how was your experience for this Remote Duel event?
I actually think it went pretty smoothly. I know a few groups started a little later, but you know, it's understandable for like a test run for an event that size of like 1,800 people, I believe. But I guess my only complaint would be the enforcement of the penalties and the lack of knowledge throughout some of the judge staff.
Okay, hopefully they will get more feedback and change it up for the next event. Alrighty, Jesse, you have any shout outs before we start the actual deck profile?
Yeah, of course I have shout out to Team Bortle,
Got you.
shout out to Epic Cards and Games. Big shout out to Team No Top and Jacob Wood. Thank you for the talents. Shout out to Joey Lynch for the droplets, and shout out to my girlfriend.
Very nice. Well, without further ado, please take it with the rest of the deck profile.
One more shout out, actually. Team Samurai X1 and Yassine for helping me out with my deck list as well.
Hey, let's go. Those guys are buddies.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get to the main deck. Perfect 40 cards. I started off with three Alistair. Uh, Never play less. Three Skamata. Most of the people that play this deck play two, but I just think it's like the best at all, and also helps fuel your schism. So it's like the best one. So like you usually want to see it when playing through hand traps. It's good with like Super Poly, any of the fusion cards with Nadir. I mean, it's a really good card. Two Indy, one Beast, one Hedgehog, one Dragon, one Aerial. I cut this previously down. It was used to be playing three, but I cut down on fusion spells to fit in more tech cards for the event, and everything else is pretty much standard. For other things, it's one Ecclesia, one Knight, and three Phantasme. Uh, these are self-explanatory, and Phantasme is just like the best hand trap this format. It just lets you see to more cards, which is really good in this deck. You can put back like uh, different pieces to grab like fusion spells or just cards that let you play the game. And for my tech card, one Elisha Golden Lord. It's pretty good to sandwich with all fusion. Um, it helps you kill your opponent pretty easily after you resolve fusion. You like send Meltdown and summon it. In the future, in this build, I would not be playing this card again.
Well, how did it fare for you in this event?
It did good, but um, it won me a few games. But there was a few games I did draw it. It helped me like out a few things, but like I would have rather it helped me be like a consistency card. Okay, we're get to the spells. I play a lot of them. Three meltdown or four meltdown. Some people won't play this. I don't understand why. This card's crazy. People beg for it to get hit for a reason. So I'll play four copies. Fusion spells, two invocation, three Shaddoll fusion, one El Shaddoll fusion. Um, Definitely in the future, well, spoilers. I'm gonna play a different version of this deck, but I'm going to be maxing out on all fusion cards because they're the cards that let you play the game. Uh, so that's it for the fusion spells and the meltdowns. Three Nadir, and then for tech cards, I play two Super Poly, two Cosmic Cyclone, and two Talents. The reason I play two of each of these cards is because like they're all like Super Poly kind of lost its power since Dragon Link fell off. and it's not like that great against Tri Brigade, but sometimes you want to see it. And the reason I play two of these cards as well is because you don't want to see them in multiples, but they're good to draw off like a card like Phantasme, so you can like fix your hand, kind of like what I said. And Phantasme is the only hand trap, but it's not really that. It's just like something to fix your hand. And you don't always want to see these cards in multiples, so I'm playing twos. And then for one ofs, one Foolish Burial, one Called by the Grave, and one Shaddoll Schism for last cards in the deck. Foolish Burial is really good, especially since I played Lord. It's just like any Shaddoll name. It's like the best Shaddoll name. That's 40 cards in the main.
Man, that's wild. That's all 40. You're packing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I had to fit it all in, two ofs. Um, it'll make more sense when I get to my side. For the extra deck, I play one Artemis, one Gravity Controller, one Anaconda, and for card I like this event was Alistair, definitely the MVP of my deck. Every time I could summon this card, I was going for game, and it happened very often. um, yeah, I mean everything else here is pretty self-explanatory, but this card's crazy. People are crazy for not playing it. I'm playing three Shaddoll Construct. Don't play less. Some people play two. I don't know what their problem is. Two Epcalone, two Winda. I kind of want to bump this up to three, but I'm pretty sure my extra deck is pretty perfect. This event, there's no complaints there. Then for the Invoke guys, there's two Mechaba, one Rajin, one Goatees. Rajin's definitely the MVP out of all these guys. This card was crazy against like Tri Brigade. Set their monsters and normal summon it. I like Banish Things from Grave. Definitely playing through like the Wind Barrier statue with Super Poly or like just start summoning Alistair. This card's just going for game, but this card's really nice right now. That's it for the extra deck. Side deck. This will make my ratios in the main deck make a little more sense. But one Pankratops, good card going second, and then I'm playing four Kaijus. Um, in theory, this is for like the Drytron matchup and like to give me like a light monster as well, because sometimes Drytron, like you have other cards that break Drytron's board once you see the rest of my side. But like I wanted like a card that was kind of like Suedo for like Striker too, and you could also just like Super Poly off their board for like Construct. But I just wanted more cards that kind of let me play two if I didn't need to use them, so they can make Construct. I mean, they did their job. I only played one Drytron in the event. The rest of the side, I'm playing two Twin Twisters, one Cosmic Cyclone, one Harpy's Feather Duster. This is the third Cosmic, and then I only wanted to play like three more spot removal cards with the Pankratops, just for like back row decks. They did their job against like Striker and Ultrageist. Then to make the other ratios make sense, I'm playing the last Super Poly and the last Tactics. I wanted to side the last Tactics because I'm playing cards like Phantasme, so I wanted to side in like these three cards when I went first every time, just for it to make sense against like certain decks, because I didn't want to have like bad cards in my main deck going first either. I also didn't main this card. I don't think it's that great right now in the main. It's not. It's like pretty bad against Striker and Silent Migrate. And the last three cards is just three droplet. This card's crazy. You just side against like Drytron and Tri Brigade, and that's it.
And beautiful explanation there, and pretty cool like ratios, and love the explanation at the end. So overall, Jesse, although it seems like top 32 wasn't really in your favor, but you had a pretty decent experience, right?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it for the most part. I think it was pretty well done for their first one to be held.
Oh yeah, I really thought it was cool that they split it up into pools to where it was like kind of fast in certain cases.
Yeah, it definitely helps to like break it up into groups because if it was all 1,800 people in one group, it would have been
Oh yeah,
not so
chaotic.
great.
Oh man. Well, thank you again for being on the channel, man.
I appreciate you, man. You take it easy.
And if you're not a part of Bortle Nation, sub for Bortle. It's that easy and it's free. Oh god, yes. Bortle out.